ever seen.
So we are getting set to go with the first of our heat races in the 125. And this is an amazing show that has been going on here already. As we said, there was going to be a lot happening before the racing even began, but now the racing takes center stage. The revs are up, and in just a moment, the gates will drop and we'll be underway.
The board is sideways. They count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gate drop, and they are on their way.
9 to qualify out of this one, and off they go.
The veteran Steve Lamson getting a great start with Tiger Lacey on the inside, with Steve Boniface from France, and then Brock Hepler.
9 riders will qualify in this 5-lap race, so it's a pretty intense scramble, even though they allow a lot of spots in.
Steve Boniface off the track, comes back on, lost a couple positions. That's legal. As long as you don't gain positions when you go off the track. It's hard here at Daytona with just the hay bales. You got to make sure you stay on the track. If you do go off, get back on and do not progress any positions.
Everybody just trying to get into the top 9, racing pretty hard. Hepler in 3rd position there on his yellow Suzuki. Couple of Hondas out front. So it doesn't really matter about winning except for position, choice of position in the final event. Here you can see the chasing pack going after our leader.
Well, some of these riders, like I say, had to run a day qualifier, so they're a little more experience with the track, but Gary Bailey's done a great job getting everything ready. Steve Lamson with a pretty commanding lead, but there's Brock Hepler in second, Tiger Lacey, and then coming back is Steve Boniface.
Californian Steve Lamson on the HangtownMX.com sponsored Honda 250. He's on a 4-stroke.
And Kelly Smith making a move up the right, got a little bit boggled up. Boniface able to make it by, and now here comes Davey Millsaps, number 188 on the inside. He's not afraid to bump, as you can see. Davey Millsaps never low on excitement. Watch, this kid carries a lot of speed.
Tiger Lacey at the front of this big group there. As we see Lamson on the 6th bike, there's the 221 of Lacey in 2nd position, and behind him it's the scramble.
It's the scramble back and forth. Brock Hepler in 2nd, making up a little bit of ground, but Tiger Lacey, Millsaps, Kelly Smith, and now, oh, Davey Millsaps going down hard, hooking up with the hay bale.
And that's going to be a real problem. Again, top 9 qualifies early in the race. He does have a chance, but his chances are diminishing rapidly every second that passes by.
This kid has just turned 16. In fact, he could not race the first round. As we take another look at it, Davey gets a little bit sideways, jumps way into the whoops, trying to get a drive, hits one of the bumps, gets off to the side. Now he has nowhere to go, gets over the top of one hay bale, goes down, and uses the other for a landing. Like I was saying earlier, Davey Millsaps could not race the first round in Houston because he turned 15 on Sunday, you know, 3 hours after the race.
All right, so here is our leader now. He's got one less exuberant youngster behind him to worry about. Steve Lamson out in front, looking good to get into that main event. Again, the top 9. So we're also looking at the 33 bike.
Kelly Smith.
Yep.
Kelly Smith going back and forth, was a very, very strong privateer last year, and also Tiger Lacey. Both of these riders, one for Yamaha Troy and the other for White Brothers Honda. They're both, you don't want to call them B teams, but they're more of a privateer style team to get factory support, but they're not under the factory tent.
Hepler in the runner-up position right now. Again, all 9 riders. It is Hurley on the 46 bike, Smith on the 59 that are back there in those transfer positions. As we get ready to complete lap number 2 here, it is still Lamson out in front with Hepler, Smith, Boniface, Metcalf, and then is Smith, Reed, Gibson, and Hurley in those 9 positions.
Kelly Smith, a very aggressive rider, coming in here, showing his wheel on Brock Hepler and getting by. Brock Hepler's been dealing with a little bit of flu, so we just, Brock's one of them riders that is never real impressive in practice, but always comes back strong in the race. He's a tough kid.
And Millsaps, the rider that went down, has fought his way up to 11th position. So he's working on the spot, number 9, to get into the main event. It can still happen. Fortunately for him, his mishap was early in the race.
Yeah, you get a great sense of speed when they follow with that side cam. Both of these riders on 254 strokes. Suzuki with their new 250F. Yamaha has a few more years of experience with the 4 strokes, but as you can see, the Suzukis are running strong.
Here is that battle for 2nd position. Kelly Smith just lost at the 60 of Brock Hepler, moving into the number 2 spot. But this great battle continues behind the leader, Steve Lamson, on the number 6 machine, way out in front. We'll be right back with more from Heat 1. Back to Daytona Supercross by Honda. It is a Honda out in front. Steve Lamson on the CRF 250R. But behind him, 8 more riders, 9 counting him, will qualify. And we saw early up, oh, we got the 60 bike down. He was running in 2nd and 3rd positions there in a great battle. He went down and is back up again, Brock Hepler. But to pick up the story on the number 188, David Millsaps, the teenager, he has managed to get back into the top 9, and we're on the white flag, the final lap.
Well, we see that Brock Kepler comes up short on this tabletop, gets off the next side, and goes down. The idea is to get on top of the next jump, up top of the next one, and always not go big. But as you can see, Brock Kepler waving his hands back and forth to let the other riders know that he's got his bike down in between positions. So tough break for Brock Kepler.
Well, we'll be watching him on this final lap. Did he get up in time to maintain a top spot, a top 9 position? As we look at our leader, Steve Lamson, doing a super job out there. Got the whole shot, has led every lap, has led over every jump, and he is definitely going on the direct line. Oh!
You spoke just a moment too soon. Steve Lamson, always a crowd favorite, a previous 125 national champion. Step back to the 125 Supercross East Coast, and everybody likes Lam. He's a great guy. Good personality, and it also helped him out with Kelly Smith and Brock Kepler going back and forth, give him a little breathing room. Well,
he's homeward bound on the pit road side of the Daytona Supercross course. He's got a little serpentine set of bends here before he out of the black dirt back onto the more red and brown dirt before he comes over the finish line. But it looks like Steve Lamson is going to cruise to a finish, and he will take the #1 spot out of heat #1, and he does. Congratulations to Steve Lamson. Took the easy way directly to the final. He'll be followed by the 33 of Kelly Smith. And here's the battle for the final transfer position. And look what these guys are doing.
Banging back and forth. That's Darrell Hurley and Tiger Lacey running tooth and nail. You do not want to run an extra race if you don't have to, especially here in this Daytona sun. You know, I mean, obviously it's nighttime, but it's still warm. It was high 80s today. You want to get out in that first heat.
Close call for the leader. You were watching. Here's another look at it.
This is that rhythm section that's really tough. There's not room for mistake. If you come up short, there's no place for correction. If you go long, the same thing. You have to be precise. Gary Bailey built a tough track, and it's showing it already.
And it's under the lights on top of all of that. So visibility, not an issue that we've heard of very much, but it is different than racing at Daytona in the bright sunshine.
Well, definitely. A lot of the riders were complaining, oh, we can see shadows back and forth, but I think they're going so fast they don't have time to see those shadows. It's a great lighting job.
Lamson the winner. Tiger Lacey ended up winning the battle for that final transfer position, the top 9 men whose names that you say. Look at David Millsaps all the way from on the ground up to 6th position. So that is heat #1, just a taste of what's to come. We've got a lot more from the Daytona Supercross by Honda, live on Speed.
Since the very beginning.